for giving us the possibility to interview you about Gameglobe. First of all, could you introduce yourself to our readers?
Well, thanks for coming. I'm Rune Winter. I'm the game director of the project. So I was one of the two persons who started the project and worked on it, the concept, and all the way through development. And now I'm here promoting it as we're going live.
Okay. Gameglobe seems to be a truly unique game with features so particular to set up a new video game genre and a new fun standard. How could you describe Gameglobe with some few words, more or less which genre or number of genres does Gameglobe seem to belong to?
So I think that Gameglobe is the creative environment I always wanted to have when I was a kid and dreamt of making games. And now we actually have that environment. It's a third-person action-adventure game. But you can take that action-adventure game and you can build your own levels, share them with each other online, and you can really go away from just making action-adventure and make your kind of game in there too. We're seeing that a lot in the beta. People are creating all kinds of different things.
Yes. Okay. As in philosophy exists the language and the meta-language, as discourse about the language, can we say that Gameglobe is a meta-game, the game about the games?
To some extent, yes, I guess you can. It's a fun little environment, and hopefully it can become so real. It's not just a game about a game, but it is real games being made in there.
I was born the idea to create this unique game of games. This idea.
So how it started?
Yeah.
Well, I think, as I said, when I was a kid, I played games and I wondered how they were made, and I hoped for this amazing tool that I could make games with. Yeah. And back then, of course, that was the 8-bit days, and we couldn't make anything like that. But now we have the technology, and we also have the connectivity with the internet to actually make it possible. So it was like the right time now to try to do this thing, and hopefully, I think being creative is something universal. Everyone likes to be creative, so hopefully we can get a lot of people involved and to try it out and make their own games in there.
Finally, we can create the game we wanted.
That's what I hope for. I want to play your game.
Okay. With the Gameglobe, everybody can create stories, world-playable levels, adventures of every kind. For instance, could the player create a mini RPG game or a mini action game? Is there some limit to this fantastic versatility, not only about the content that can be created, but also about the type of game we can create?
So I think, that in some sense there's always limitations, because there are some things that will be difficult to do. But what we are doing is we really feel that this game is no longer our game. It's partly our game and it's partly the community's game. So when we listen to the community and they say we really need more mechanisms to do this kind of game, then we go and we try to implement that. So if you look at Gameglobe today, there might be something where you think, it does all these things, but I wish it also did this extra thing. If you look at it tomorrow or next week, it might do that thing, because we listen to people and we try to support whatever they want in there. So I won't sit here and say it can do everything, but we'll definitely listen and try to make it do everything.
Yeah, very nice. Even if a Gameglobe can more or less look like a complete editor of games, this isn't entirely true. In Gameglobe, the player has an alter ego. I see a video visible on the screen, able to level up, created according to his wishes. Can you tell us about our alter ego progression of the level?
So let me first talk a little bit about the avatar himself. So right now we have two basic avatars, there's a boy and a girl. We want to make some more later on, but we wanted to make sure we had one boy and a girl, and then lots of different pieces of clothing, because that seems to be the ideal way to customize your character. People really like to express themselves through their clothes. So when you take your avatar into the game, that's the avatar that goes and plays all the different levels you try out in the game. And you earn experience points when you play with that avatar. And as you level up from that experience points, you get bonuses with the levels, like unique items you get, or you get coins you can go and you can spend to get more things for your creative worlds, or buy new customizable items and so forth. So you kind of progress two ways, either by going in and playing or by building. So we wanted to make sure that some people, they just want to play, and that's cool, and they should be able to progress that way. Some people just want to build, and that is also cool, and they should be able to progress because they've made cool levels, and some people do a little bit of everything.
Nice, very nice. Okay. How many standard levels did you plan Gameglobe will have in the launch date? The game content will be constantly updated. Can we say the same about the game editor tools? So all the game will be updated?
So I don't think we ever kind of set a number for how many levels we want to have in there. We kind of, like, of course in the beginning we were making a lot of the content because we were testing the game, but now the users are making hundreds of levels. There's no way we can keep up with it. So I think our role has become much more to support the users, for example, by making new themes of content. So right now everyone is building pirate stuff, colonial stuff, jungle stuff, and some of them are being very clever and using these props in new ways, but we also know that they're really eager to get new themes as well. So we're working on new themes, and we're almost there. The next one will be coming out soon, which will bring a more modern setting to the game as well.
Okay, will it be possible to create PvP levels, or in general levels in which each player rivals the other in the victory? It's possible.
So it's we haven't announced anything with multiplayer yet, and we're not ready to talk about anything like that at this point. So I can't say anything about that.
Okay, the other point. Do you plan Gameglobe as a free-to-play game? Which currency will be available in-game, and how it will affect the game dynamics?
So it's when we made the game, we wanted to make sure that you could make classic action-adventure gaming in there. So we didn't want to put free-to-play mechanics deeply into the game. So they exist more on the meta level of you earning points through experience points, unlocking new props and costumes and things like that. So when you're actually playing, you don't really have to think about that at all. You just play like you do any other game. And one of the things we wanted to make very sure was that you could really play this without spending money. So for the first many weeks of the closed beta, we actually didn't enable payment at all. So you couldn't actually go in and buy extra coins. You could only earn by leveling up and playing the game, because we wanted to make sure that you could have a great time that way. Of course, we hope that some people will go and spend some money as well, but it was really, really important to us that it actually worked without you spending money.
The only way to play well is to play.
Exactly.
Okay, which social features you plan to launch with Gameglobe? How will you support the game community, and which is the social feature?
So right now in the community, of course, we have community managers that are helping out, speaking to the users. They are arranging competitions, both playing competitions where you, for example, have to get the high score on a level, and also building competitions where there's a theme. Then for the next 3 days, everyone are trying to build the best levels of a certain type of level, and they publish them, and they get rated, and someone wins the competition. So we're trying to keep them active in that way. The users are coming up with interesting things too. For example, like some people have started reviewing levels, so they actually have like a little review section where they're reviewing, giving ratings for different levels in there. So they're kind of helping a lot with the community too in that sense. Once we're live, there's a lot more users. I think we will see the balances. The most important thing for us is to keep it a friendly, positive community. I think that is the key for us.
I think it will be good. Okay. To play the game, will be necessary to download the client, and which languages will be available?
So I'm not actually sure if we've announced the language list.
Not yet. We're only doing obviously looking at different ones. We're not announced exactly. So in your territory, it may not be straight away, but we're certainly considering.
Yeah, I think we know that it's really important to get in there on the local languages. We have a lot of things to do, so exactly where it is in the priorities, I guess we will see, but it's something we understand the importance of, definitely.
Gameglobe will be probably two kinds of public, the makers and the players. How do you imagine the relationship between them, and how would you intend to satisfy both communities?
So, I think both players and creators, they need each other, right? The players need content to play, and the creators need an audience for what they're creating. So hopefully they will coexist really well and actually support each other. I think there will be some people who do both, and I think some people will start playing and then there's something, I wonder how this was made, and then they will actually go in and build, because then they'll be hooked, and that's all they're doing is building. But I think they will coexist quite well. I think the key for us is, as I talked about before, with progression, to make sure that you progress both as a player and as a builder. So there really are two paths into progression.
The yin and the yang of
Exactly. That's a good image.
Okay. Thank you for all your answers. Would you add something?
Well, I would say go to Gameglobe.com and sign up. We're beginning to let in a lot of people to the beta, so hopefully you'll join us.
Okay, yes. Okay. Can we see some video, some you can play something?
I can play a bit.
This is the stuff that's already in the beta now.
Yeah. So, do you want no camera or camera?
As you want.
You can film it if you want.
Okay. Can I please?